Diplomatic efforts between the United States and Iran continue, but the fragile ceasefire remains under strain as disputes over the Strait of Hormuz, sanctions relief and regional security persist. Pakistan is also stepping up its diplomatic role, with Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif set to travel to Iran as indirect negotiations continue in Doha. Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif will visit Iran and Türkiye from July 3 to July 5, where he is expected to attend the funeral of Iran's late Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, who was killed in the U.S.-Israeli strikes that sparked the current conflict. Meanwhile, Pakistan's Foreign Office says positive progress was made during the latest round of indirect U.S.-Iran talks in Doha on implementing the Islamabad Memorandum of Understanding. Islamabad says it will continue working alongside Qatar in a facilitative and mediatory role as negotiations move forward.
The talks in Doha were held indirect. They were indirect talks, as you must have seen the statement released by Pakistan and Qatar. So we'll see how it goes. We are not discouraged by the strong statements. You know, when there is a conflict and there is a mediation process, mediators must maintain a spirit of positivity, optimism, due confidentiality. The relevant parties are usually prone to giving harsh statements because they are in this discussion, and they have a certain position. So let us not be discouraged by the harsh statements. We of course are mediators who are in these talks are advocating for restraint, for continuation of dialogue. So we should rejoice that the fact that the dialogue is continuing. And when we say that the next meeting will be planned after the funeral of the late Supreme Leader, it means that the parties are at the dialogue table. The dialogue has not broken down. It's a continuing process. The hiatus or the gap in the dialogue is routine. Such dialogue are convened, and then parties go back home. So the process continues, and this is encouraging. Islamabad, I cannot rule out the possibility of future meetings in Islamabad. We would of course welcome such meetings, but I have no detail about anything on Islamabad being the venue.
Iran has renewed its warning that all commercial and tanker vessels passing through the Strait of Hormuz must follow routes designated by Tehran, saying any U.S. interference would trigger a decisive and rapid response. The warning came after U.S. Central Command led a regional security meeting in Bahrain with military officials from 12 countries, reaffirming support for unrestricted navigation through the strategic waterway. Tehran rejected the initiative, insisting the strait falls under the authority of Iran and Oman and that outside military forces have no role in determining its security. As Iran prepares for Ayatollah Khamenei's state funeral, senior commanders also warned both the United States and Israel against any new military action, saying any attack would be met with harsh retaliation. The diplomatic standoff also played out at the UN Security Council, where Iran accused Washington of violating international law and sabotaging diplomacy.
Flagrantly violated the UN Charter and international law, including international humanitarian law, by imposing two unjustified and unwarranted wars against the Iranian people. During the attacks in June 2025 and between 28 February and 8 April 2026, the United States deliberately targeted civilians and civilian infrastructure, including hospitals, sport facilities, schools, and cultural sites. Even the President of the United States and other senior U.S. officials publicly admitted to and openly boasted about committing these heinous war crimes against the Iranian people and civilian infrastructure. More than 4,800 civilians, including women and children, were killed. The killing of school girls in Minab remains one of the most horrific examples of this atrocious crime. The Security Council failure to discharge its responsibilities.
While the United States blamed Tehran for threatening global trade through its actions in the Strait of Hormuz.
Unfortunately, the representative of the regime started his remarks today by saying, apparently, this council should not meet, should not speak. Let me remind you where you are. This is not Tehran. This is the United States of America. This is the United Nations Security Council. You will not silence this body. The representative goes on to say that the ambassador from Bahrain, the foreign minister, myself, and other members of this body are full of lies, that we're lying. Let me ask you, what here is a lie? Who's lying here? Is this Arab family in Bahrain in a residential neighborhood whose home was destroyed by an Iranian Shahed drone? Are they lying? Crown Plaza Hotel full of tourists? Are they lying? First responders whose headquarters were struck deliberately so that they couldn't put out fires? Were they lying? Is this hypocrisy? Is this what this council is here to denounce today? I asked the representative, are these lies? Are these photographs? Are these lies? I'd say not.
Pakistan defended the June 17 Islamabad agreement, describing it as a victory for diplomacy and urging both sides to continue negotiations. At the same time, Qatari mediators confirmed indirect technical talks between the US and Iran remain ongoing, focusing on implementing the ceasefire, sanctions relief, frozen Iranian assets and broader security arrangements before negotiations move on to more difficult issues such as Iran's nuclear program. While negotiators say progress is being made behind the scenes, major disagreements remain over the implementation of the ceasefire, control of the Strait of Hormuz and the future of Iran's nuclear program. With Pakistan and Qatar continuing to mediate, diplomats are racing to prevent another escalation that could once again destabilize the wider Middle East.